welcome to Intro Skippers, the podcast with an entertainer and an entertainment journalist talking to you about things they find entertaining, and that is entertainment. My name is Kim.
My name is Jason.
Hi, you are on the road still.
I am. I'm in Paris. I'm in Paris.
No, you're not. Well, you are.
Paris. I'm in Paris, Texas. Yes, I'm in Paris, Texas.
Not the Paris I was thinking of, or anyone was thinking of when you say Paris.
True. But I had to go for it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the city of love and oil.
Yeah. This is the city of oil for sure.
Well, cool. You're on your radio tour.
Yep, I'm on a radio tour, visiting different radio stations every day, 2 to 3 a day. Doing the morning show, doing the afternoon drive, and sometimes taping a third one that will air, who knows when. And just it's part of life of being a musician. And sometimes you gotta go out there and meet people and say hi and say, please play my record, please.
So I did that on the other side, kind of, where I was talking to someone promoting their movie, and it's not coming out until April. But this will be airing, I think, end of February. So I think I was one of the first stops on their press tour.
Wow. Oh, that was what you did yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Very cool.
And today I filmed something from home, which is why I'm dressed a little bit better than usual.
You're always dressed impeccably, even for our podcast.
Inaccurate. No. It's very nice of you, but that is factually untrue.
All right. I think it's subjective. So,
well, very kind, but also very wrong. Today we're talking about a documentary that came onto Netflix in January of 2026, though it originally premiered in 2024. And it's based on some folklore and explaining how it worked and what was real, what wasn't, and why they did it. We are talking about Secret Mall Apartment. This is the story of a group of artists who built a secret mall apartment at Providence Place, the massive mall in Providence, Rhode Island. And they were able to keep it there for 4 solid years. Have you heard of this before?
I had, but I thought it was something way different than what it turned out to be. So I was really, even the trailer didn't prepare me for what I saw. Because it was only partially about that apartment. It was about the community of Providence. It was about the art community in Providence, the music community in Providence. I actually loved it. I was riveted to it the whole time, and I loved the deviations of really it centered around Michael, who was the sort of brainchild of
the lead artist.
Yeah, and some of the other art that he did, and the art that he did honoring the 9/11 victims, the art that he did honoring the Oklahoma City bombing victims, the art that he did for children at Children's Hospital. I loved it.
Well, we'll get into the details pretty soon. I had seen this from a Tumblr like years ago where they were like, did you know that there was a secret mall apartment built into the walls of the Providence Mall? And they live there, and here's a picture. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. And it is cool. It's a very fun idea. And like these artists got one over on the man or the mall security guards, if you will, the Paul Blarts.
Right. I've gotten a few things over on some few Paul Blarts over the years.
I don't think I ever have, but I'm not sure I've ever done anything I'm not supposed to do in a mall.
Okay.
Have you? You don't want to talk about it?
No, I'll talk about it. In fact, it's on my YouTube page. It's from 13 years ago now. We were at the Mall of America and we were filming ourselves. It was me and my bandmates. And we accidentally kind of got behind the stores somehow, not even realizing that we were back there, and then we decided to just keep exploring.
Was it a liminal space, or was it
Well, it was just like where the deliveries came. It was where the deliveries came, and people could walk back there, but clearly it was for employees only. So we explored as long as we could, and knew that at any moment Paul Blart could be jumping out of the shadows
On his
to
Segway.
on a Segway to seize us. But we happened to not get caught. That
Great. And
was
so
the
it was,
same. Oh, sorry. That was the same trip where I went to Casa Bonita before it was redone. So I went to
that's in
Casa.
Denver.
Right, right. But it was the same trip. So it was
Oh,
on
it's
the
like a
same tour.
long trip. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was on a a music tour, and we stopped at Casa Bonita in Denver, and we stopped at Mall of America in Minneapolis.
I'm so interested in these weird old places that don't really exist anymore. And I guess old Casa Bonita is one of them. But we've already talked about that in an older
We did.
episode. You can go back and listen. It's
Hmm.
easy to find, it's ad free. You'll have a good time. But for this, I actually have been in the Providence Mall, but I was a little kid. I just remember all the crisscrossing escalators and how big it was.
Yeah,
And I knew Providence itself was pretty small. But
yeah. The
in
mall was probably as big as the city. It felt like.
almost, I mean, we'll talk about it, but this documentary deeply goes into the why more so than the how. I mean, they do discuss the how, which you would expect any documentary to do, but they go into why did they do this? Why did
Hmm.
they think it would be a good thing to do? And honestly, it helped a lot. From what I read, Michael Townsend, the lead artist, was approached by this to approached about this by several filmmakers after it was revealed what happened,
Mm.
and they finally agreed to accept the offer from this director, Jeremy Workman, and his producer. Have you heard of him? Jesse Eisenberg.
What? I saw that at the
Yeah,
end. I didn't realize till the end that he was involved.
it's that Jesse Eisenberg. The two
Hmm.
have paired up before. I believe this is their second time. And Townsend was pretty happy with his previous documentary work, if you want to check that out. It's also a little quirky, though obviously not the same subject matter. So,
Was that
I
the
mean,
Bigfoot one that they did? The weird. The
no. It
Okay.
was called The World Before Your Feet, and it was about a man's mission to walk every street of New York City, a journey of 8,000 miles, which is, I mean, that's pretty quirky.
Yeah, that is quirky.
Yeah. So that was how this started to come together. I will also add this involves a full recreation of the secret mall apartment. And is it inside the mall?
I don't
Or,
think. No, it was in a sound
okay,
stage.
a
I don't think that
soundstage.
there was a sound stage that big inside that mall.
Okay, they did make a full recreation and they reenacted certain moments of the apartment's history. But let's get into what they did.
Okay.
So what happened was a group led by Michael Townsend, who was known for making a lot of guerrilla art, and I'm not saying guerrilla G-O, I'm saying guerrilla Guer,
Hmm.
where he would just put things in public spaces and kind of explore unused spaces, public areas, forgotten nooks and crannies. There's a really cool one that he did. What was it, in the sewers or in the waterways under this town?
Yeah, I think you had to jump through the sewers to even see it. There were other artists that were trying to find it that talked about the legend of it, and they could never find it. But yeah, it was underneath these two bridges, and it looked fantastic.
It was ephemeral. It's gone now, obviously.
Hmm.
But he did capture some evidence of it. So, well, I'll get into why after. But pretty much what they did is this mall is weirdly shaped. It's in a weird corner of the city where there's a dividing line between the up and coming side and the old side. That's a
Hmm.
remnant of the Industrial Revolution, which is where a lot of, like, you know, let's say raves, less than legal activities,
Yes.
were going down
Hmm.
in these old husks of factory spaces from the Industrial Revolution. And it's also like cornered into where the river is. So there's all these different shapes coming together under this larger umbrella of the mall roof, which makes a lot of unused spaces, empty gaps between walls, dead corridors, maintenance areas, leftover construction areas that were never filled in and still have construction equipment in them. And they found a large, weird shaped cavity inside the mall's wall. the walls of the mall are
Mhm.
totally, totally tall near the parking garage. And most people didn't know that it was there. And they shimmied in through like a hole they found in the parking garage.
Right.
And
And then they
you
had to
could,
like climb up and sort of
yeah.
squeeze through these like beams.
And that would take them to this hallway that would sort of take them anywhere inside the cavities and guts of the mall that
Yeah.
no one knew about. It's just hidden, accessible, and big enough to turn into a living space.
Hmm.
So what they would do is they tried to blend in with the shoppers, and they smuggled in a lot of different pieces that you would expect in an apartment. A couch, that's the centerpiece.
Hmm.
Lamps, dressers, rugs, cinder blocks, which I thought was insane.
Yeah. They
A
wanted to
door.
they wanted to build a wall at some point because they realized it was just in an open space, and if a security guard walked up this rather steep ladder, they would just walk right into the apartment. So they said the best thing we can do is bring in cinder blocks and build a wall to make it look like it was already there.
That stressed me out so much because I was thinking those blocks are heavy. They are
Hmm.
going to make the structure collapse. Also, they had to
Oh,
bring in so many bricks, and they did
yep,
get caught, but they talked their way out of it.
they did. They said that
Um,
they went to Home Depot and bought a bunch of cinder blocks, and that
they're
then they
waiting for their
shopped at the
friend.
mall, and
Yeah.
their car won't move. So now they're going to move all the cinder blocks to their friends' trucks. And
Hmm.
then the Paul Blart of that time was just like, okay, you
Well,
know,
like, put yourself in his shoes.
yeah,
I don't care.
right, yeah, that's probably more it. Like, yeah, okay, cool. You're
I
not
don't
stealing
care.
anything,
You're
okay.
not hurting anyone. You're not,
Mm-hmm.
stealing. Fine. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they would carry things in, like they'd hide them, but for a lot of these cases, they would just go through the this door that would start the security alarm, and nobody cared that the security alarm was just blaring,
Yeah, for
but
years, no one
they made it
cared.
work. So they did this in, I believe, 2003. They started building it with the
Mm-hmm.
drywall, carpet. They rigged up electricity from mall outlets. They put in some art. They had a PlayStation, which was important.
Hmm. They were 1 week away from installing wood flooring.
Uh, that would have been a huge undertaking, though.
See, now what I thought though, but that I was going to see when I watched this was I thought that they fully lived there 24/7. You know, found
No,
a way to like completely just live at the mall. So that's
no, no, no.
yeah, yeah.
They had to follow strict rules to not get caught. First of all, they kept an elite core group of 8 people.
Hmm.
They never wanted to attract attention. No loud music, no parties, no strangers who are outside of the brain trust.
Hmm.
Um, try to blend in with shoppers, behave like mall customers, make things look as normal as possible. I think they didn't sleep over much, if ever. I think they slept over a little bit,
No, they
correct?
did. There was one guy that said he slept over a maximum 4 to 5 nights in a row.
Hmm.
So it sounds like they were sleeping over here and there, maybe more here than there. Now, most of those people in the core eight were actually former students of Michael's because he was
Yes.
an art teacher.
Yes. Do you want to talk about that?
Which part? The
Michael as the art teacher.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Michael really inspired a lot of his students. They had a whole section of people saying, "Before I took Michael's class, I just thought art was something you would put on a page, and he taught me that art is everywhere and art is life." And really, one of the things that they really touched on was this tape art that he did, this temporary
Yes.
tape art, and they talked about how he did it at Children's Hospital to make the kids feel better, and he would just show up with this tape, and it might last a day, it might last a week, or it might last a lot longer, but it was all temporary, and just to make the kids feel better and decorate the entire room the way they wanted. Do you want to see a cat? Great, let's make a cat together. Do you want a
Hmm.
dolphin flying across the ceiling? Let's put a dolphin up there. And I thought that was really sweet.
Some of it was quite elaborate. I mean, with us just describing it, it sounds like not much to write home about, but
Hmm.
I mean, some of the pieces were pretty great.
Yeah.
But like a monk creating sand art and then just wiping it out, his his idea was, yeah, but it's going to get destroyed and that's fine.
Hmm. That seemed to kind of be his philosophy on all of the art that he made. And even when he was interviewed at the end, was this life or was this art? He's like, I don't see a difference. I don't. Right.
Well, that's the third prong of what this is about.
Okay.
So we have the mall itself. How did they do it?
Hmm.
Why did they do it?
Hmm.
And then the difficulty of being married to an obsessive artist.
Yeah, they touch on that too.
So Michael, doesn't really see lines between art and reality, and he joked a lot, like they had his girlfriend and his ex-wife being like, he would laugh when I tell him, we need to pay these bills, and he sent me like a screenshot of his bank account with 46 cents in it and wrote
Hmm.
LOL, and it's not funny, it's not funny.
Yeah, she's like, I don't find this funny at all.
And his brother was like, yeah, well, that's him for you.
Hmm. I did notice, and I don't know if you noticed this too, all of the interviews that they had with his ex-wife, who was there in the whole process,
Hmm.
she was never on camera at the same time with him.
Well, weren't
I,
most of them talking heads
yeah,
on their own?
I guess, but I would have thought they brought them all to the set when they rebuilt
Mm.
the mall. They rebuilt the mall apartment. They brought as many as they could to the set, and I noticed he went to the set and she went to the set, but they were never there at the same time. So I don't know.
Oh, I didn't
Maybe
pick that
there's
up,
maybe
but
there's some tension there still.
maybe you would like drama.
Well, I mean, drama's entertaining.
Yeah, yeah, that's entertainment. So we're getting to why did they do this? We already know that they are artists who specialize in public spaces,
Hmm.
um, but the idea of urban renewal comes to mind. So the city of Providence was struggling for a while. They had lost their retail power and center. It was in different towns and cities in the area. People were ignoring Providence, like I mentioned. We have the husks of the Industrial Revolution scattered all over town, and
Right.
having artsy types do installations and parties in them, which, sounds fun, but maybe you don't like that if you're the mayor or the city council or the police.
Hmm.
And they decide, we are going to renew Providence's promise. We are going to build a mall, and it will be the Renaissance, and it will pull retail back to town, and we'll have money again and prosperity. Meanwhile, while this is happening, they're knocking down the uh, the older parts of the town. They are ignoring their existing retail, the existing, I don't want to say Main Street because I don't think anyone said it, but the businesses that were already there, the smaller businesses, the ones
Right.
that don't have the backing of this huge monolith. And it's very interesting because it's like a kind of a crusade against consumerism, against private versus public space. What does the public deserve?
Hmm.
Surveillance, ownership of urban space in a more intimate and home oriented way.
Hmm. Michael was actually living in one of the old mills, and they called that Fort Thunder. And one of my bandmates is from Rhode Island, so
No
I
way.
immediately texted him while I was watching this, and I go, "Do you know about Fort Thunder?" And he wrote back, "Of course."
Of
So I guess there were
course I do.
yeah,
I'm cool.
there were lots of concerts there. There were lots of events there, and Michael lost his home, and this was really a direct inspiration from that.
Yeah, and I thought that was really engaging. I mean, we have this open-hearted embrace of the DIY spirit. Could it be illegal? Maybe, but let's do it anyway because we have this, shambles of a system that doesn't seem to be working for the people it's meant to serve, why don't we make fun of it a little? Is this a prank? Is this art? It's kind of both. I would
Hmm.
lean more toward art.
I suppose so. I I definitely think so. But I also kind of hoped that they did live there for 4 years, like every day, every night. Like I really wanted them to succeed with that. Even though that's something I would never do. Like if I see no trespassing, I'm like, I'm out of here. I am so not that person.
Well, it's a
But
beautiful idea, like this bohemian ideal,
it
and
is.
it's just it does kind of clash with I would like to own a home and I would like to pay my bills, which
Hmm.
is brought up in this documentary.
Right, by his
But
wife directly. It wasn't even about paying the bills. It was like, hey, I know Saturday is mall apartment day, but Saturdays I would like to work on our home.
home,
Yeah. Uh,
and he was fully obsessed and focused on
mhm.
this
And he was, what did he say? Like, this moves me. I would rather work on this because this moves me. And she's like, and that's when I realized maybe he wasn't the man for me.
I mean, it's it's like the balance of art versus commerce in general, isn't it? Where it's just like this fuels me, this feeds me in a way, but it doesn't
Hmm.
literally feed me. Unfortunately, there's an uncomfortable balance of I have to pay the bills, unless you come from money, which good for you, but most of us don't. And I want to make something meaningful that makes me feel alive and inspired. And, he does represent one side of that,
Yeah. Yeah.
almost entirely one side of it. But I really liked the idea of the secret mall apartment because it was this idea of like a pirate hijacking the very symbol of gentrification, maybe a giant ship or a whale is the analogy you could make, or the lack, just like something that's eating away of the community's heart and spirit. And you kind of get to make fun of this crass commercialization that is, actually a really scary thing that's digging its tendrils into the community and choking out the spaces we know and kind of starving out smaller retailers. And it's like a little bit of revenge in a way, which I really appreciated.
Yeah. And I mean, ultimately, time is going to have its own revenge on that mall, as
Hmm.
we will, and on most malls, unfortunately, but we learned that towards the end.
Oh yes, so what happens around 2007, we did say this lasted from approximately 2003 to 2007, is they noticed someone kicked down the door to the secret mall apartment
Hmm.
and even stole their PlayStation,
Yeah. Which
which,
Michael was convinced they stole it so that they could look at their game save times to prove when they were
oh,
there. I think they just were like, hey, cool, free PlayStation, let's take it.
that one, the second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I don't think they were thinking that at all about, we
No,
have to
I'm
prove how
putting
long they were
myself
here.
in the shoes of security, which is I don't get paid enough to care that much about this. There's a PlayStation. It's not here legally. I can steal this evidence.
Exactly.
So, they had decided, okay, we have to minimize our time there. We're not going at night anymore. We're only going during day hours. We
No, no,
don't want
flip.
anyone to catch us.
No, they weren't
Really?
going to go during the day anymore.
Oh,
They were only going to
really?
go at night because
Thank you.
there would be less people, less security guards, and less chance of them getting them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So
thought
that,
it was no more at night because we would trip off the alarms.
no, I think it was that they wouldn't go during the day anymore. Too many
All
people
right,
around.
sure.
Yeah.
And then one day, Michael got a little bold and he brought a friend over to show them, look at this cool thing we did.
Yeah. He broke
Ah.
two rules. He broke not going at the time they said they were going to go, and he brought an outsider,
Not supposed to bring an outsider. The
which,
rules exist for a reason.
mm-hmm. And
And
that's when they were discovered.
then the mall cops broke in and they were discovered. And they did a fun recreation of that where he was like, and I was sitting there with my friend. And I thought, oh, maybe it's a buddy. And it had one of the other artists pop in, like, what's up, bro?
Mm-hmm. I got walkie talkies.
Cool. But No, what did he yell? Surprise!
He said, "Surprise. Do you know who I am?" And they said, "We know who you are. You have to come with us." I
And
feel so bad for his
unfortunately,
friend. I hope his friend didn't get arrested. I hope he was like, "Look, I just brought my friend in here 5 minutes ago, and she was actually just asking me if this was illegal. So please don't arrest her."
they didn't mention it, but I will say nobody was actually arrested after this, though Michael Townsend was banned from the mall. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no.
He,
Though, when they premiered this documentary, they lifted the ban because times have changed and malls have fallen on hard times. And that is the reality of the situation at this point.
yeah, they may turn the malls all into apartments.
Well, they hosted a premiere of this documentary at the mall, and
Oh my
Michael and the
goodness.
director and several of the artists did Q&As, and people were psyched about it because who has a premiere at the scene of the crime,
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty great.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I wish I could have been to that, but alas, I live on the other side of the country. So yes, ultimately the place was I don't want to say disbanded, but disused. And they did get to go back to it in the documentary. A lot of that stuff is still there,
hmm
and it had been ignored for years. It's interesting that the rise and fall of malls coincides with this public guerrilla art piece.
Right. Um, just the way commerce has changed so much, there's just less malls out there,
Yeah.
and less call for them. So
I
it
mean, this is good publicity for a dying mall.
it's true. I wonder if it helped. Do we
Mhm.
know?
I don't know.
I mean, heck, I would charge to tour. You can come see the secret apartment. I'd refurnish it the way it was, and I would charge a premium for people to come see it, see the secret apartment. And
What
then that
if
would rescue them all.
back when Disneyland was doing a year of a million dreams or whatever it was called, I'm sorry, Disney adults, I'm sorry. What if they rented out the room as a hotel room like they did for the rooms that were inside Disneyland? They could make some money. It
Yeah,
might be really illegal though.
yeah, it's probably not to code. I don't think they built that to code for sure, but
Yeah.
maybe
The
they
cinder
could.
blocks and cement hastily slapped onto that really gave me that impression.
hmm
But there were a lot of interesting questions in this and ideas, and it really made this transform from a silly novelty, did you know, fun fact, to, thinking about why was this made? Is it still a resonant idea now? Who really owns public space? What is the hidden architecture of a city? Can you just disappear and reappear? The value of surveillance, consumerism, urban sprawl, gentrification,
hmm
um, just the heart and soul of a city versus consumerism, and ultimately, is it a balance that we have to abide, or can we have the ideal?
Yeah, and who is to decide these things? Because every member of society views it a little bit differently. So
That's true.
you know,
We all have our different motivations.
Mhm.
The city wants the city to be flush with cash, and Michael wants to stick tape everywhere and have a weird, ugly couch. We all have equally important things that we want.
Yep,
I'm joking a little. I do really think this was an interesting public art idea, and I'm glad that it got to exist, and I'm glad we know about it more now.
absolutely.
And I think that's it for the
Yeah,
secret mall apartment.
yeah.
Michael is still out there making art, doing
I
Q and
hope.
A's for this movie.
Yeah, I hope that this helped him have more than 41 cents in his bank account. And I
uh,
hope that this inspires him to do more art and more good, because a lot of his art, was for good. I mean, Operation Hope that we talked about a little bit earlier was
yeah,
his tribute to all. all the different 9/11 victims, they in tape art, they portrayed a different 9/11 victim all over New York, and it took them 5 years to do. And unfortunately, the website that showed all of that said in the documentary is down, and you can't really view it anymore. But they were able to get some of that and show it in the documentary, and it's very touching.
Yeah, it was sweet. I mean, they would do the outline of a person who is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very stark visual that really works with this particular application. And I hope they do continue to make art. I mean, the friends actually, they were never publicly revealed until this documentary.
Yeah.
And they chose to all come out now.
I'm assuming the statute of limitations is over for
Well,
the mall
look,
trespassing.
if Michael didn't get arrested then, he's not going to get arrested now.
He did spend one night in jail. He did.
It's fine. But yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I really liked the deeper implications. I really liked that there was so much more to this than just her, let's live in the closet at the mall, you know?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
much more complicated and much more important, in my opinion. And I do recommend this documentary to those of you who have gotten this far and not already watched it.
Yeah. So thank you very much for recommending it to me, because I had a great time watching it. So here.
I like quirky, weird things full of weirdos. I don't know if I'm ready to be a weirdo. I like having more than 41 cents. It's a nice thing to visit and think about. And, you know, the point of art is to make an impact. And I think they did. I think they were successful.
They were. Well, anything coming up you can talk about right now, or are you under NDA on everything?
What day is it today?
Well, this will premiere on the
6th.
I've got a new trailer out for the game People of Note that I wrote 8 songs for the game. My character sings 2 songs in the game. I'm one of the main characters. And they put a whole new scene up online. So just check out People of Note and look at the trailer for that. It's coming out soon.
That looks really fun. And you're one of the few actors who is both the singing and voiceover talent.
Right. For a lot, they had a different singer and a different actor, just like K-pop Demon Hunters did, although we weren't following their example because we were both working on our projects at the same time.
Well,
not knowing about the other.
Disney has been doing this for years and years. Actually, I think they kind of stopped now, but before they did it. And I think that was a good era for Disney. So I'm looking forward to this game. Play Jason's game. Wait, it's not out.
Yeah. When it comes
Pre-order it. Think about it. Until then, I've been having a hard time dealing with things in the news, things that are happening, that should be happening but aren't happening. And I felt like there was this video of an actor at Sundance who was like, there's people in the streets dying, and I'm sitting here talking about a movie. But I think it's important to balance and to feel joy and find joy and not sink into despair. I think that itself is a revolutionary act, to not be taken down by the things that are designed to take you down. So balance yourself, find your joy, feel your joy, and be as strong as you can be.
That's a great note to go out on.
All right. We'll catch you all next week. Maybe Jason will be home. Will you be?
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, I thought you would know. You don't. Okay. Catch you next time, everyone.
Bye.
Intro Skippers with Jason Charles Miller and Kim Horcher is produced and edited by Kim Horcher and Jason Charles Miller. The name order doesn't really matter. Additional writing by Kim Horcher. Theme song and incidental music by Jason Charles Miller. Take it away, me. You can rate and review this show, 5 stars only please, anywhere you'd like, and you might find your review read on a future episode. Got a question? Email us at introskipperspod@gmail.com. That too could be featured on a future episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Intro Skippers on your favorite podcast platform, but preferably one we're actually on. All right, thanks for getting this far. Here's a special treat just for you. I'm gonna stop talking.